One of the things we often observe when working in organisations is the detachment from actual culture, so the way people behave day to day, and intended culture, so what might be written down in your value statements, for example. And one of the reasons for this is the way that values are captured. More often than not, they're captured as one word or single sentence statements on a website or displayed on a wall or captured in some corporate documentation somewhere. And here I've got some classic examples that you can see on the screen from big name organizations. These aren't good or bad examples. These are just examples of what you'll find more often than not. So here we've got Shell with respect, honesty and integrity, and you can see we have some description of those below. The same goes for IKEA. We've got the same in EDF when you hover over them and there's some explanation, and the same for Virgin Media. And the problem with these short one sentence or one word values is that they're open to misinterpretation. So misinterpretation or a limited interpretation, or sometimes they are just not known about at all. So when this happens, what you get is that the values are not reflected in your behaviours. And ultimately, values need to be behaviours, otherwise they are just empty statements of intent. So what we're now going to walk through is an exercise called values mapping, values and behaviours mapping, that can help you bridge that gap between actual culture, so intended behaviours, and desired culture. So let me just bear with while I load this. Here we go. Okay, I'm just going to make myself a bit smaller. So how do we do it? So values and behaviours mapping. First of all, you take your value statements and you draw up a grid like this. In fact, I'm going to get rid of myself altogether because it's just distracting. Has that done it? Okay. So we have this grid where we put our company value at the top, then we have our interpretation, and then how it is demonstrated, or what is that behaviour. So let's take an example we see on many websites. We are passionate. And the first thing you do is you assemble a project team. This is people from across your business. It's not a few people that work in comms or a few people that work in HR. These are individuals that represent your company from top to bottom, end to end. So every function, every team, every management level. And we get them first of all, and you'll need to do this in lots of subgroups because it will become unmanageable otherwise. But everybody needs to say, what does that mean? What is your interpretation of that? And here you can see a few examples of what we are passionate might be. It might be being available, it might be having energy and enthusiasm. And once you've done that level, you move down into, and how is that demonstrated? What is the behaviour, therefore, that you attach to that interpretation and to that value? So a few examples there. If you are passionate, you might arrive early and finish late. You would promptly respond to calls and emails. You might do stuff for free, because if it's a passion of yours. An extra layer of analysis you can add on top of this is you can get your project groups to identify what the missed opportunities are. They might be missed, they might be areas for improvement, but basically ones where we don't think we are living those at the moment. Once you've done that, the only other task to do is to take those behaviours and map them against who you expect to demonstrate what behaviour. Now, it might be that everybody is expected to role model or demonstrate a particular behaviour. It might be that some apply to one management level and not to another. So annotating your behaviours like this just makes it really clear, who those behaviours apply to. And once you've done that, again, if you don't want this to turn into a set of empty statements, you have to integrate these behaviours into all the foundations of your business. So into your recruitment process and documentation, into your appraisals, into your one-to-ones, into the way you talk to staff and you discuss expectations. They should form the foundation for your policies, processes, and procedures. The outputs are only as good as what you do with them, ultimately. Now, you can do the exercise. I've shown you that there on PowerPoint. You can do the exercise if you are lucky enough to have people face to face. Fantastic. You can do that by pulling a big grid up on the wall and getting people to come up and put post-it notes on it. What I've got here is a template that's available for download on our website, but You can print this on A3 if you like, but what I find particularly effective is a big bit of flip chart or brown paper, mark it up with these 3 rows, and then facilitate the exercise. If you are doing it virtually, and that is the reality a lot of the time in this day and age, is that you might want to use one of the many, many virtual post-it note mapping sort of facilities that are available. This one's called Miro. You can just create a grid and drag and drop your post-it notes. It's very easy to change the colors and everything on there to make this an easy exercise. Other such softwares are things like Mural, Lucid Chart. You can take your pick. So there's lots of ways to make it happen as well. So an easy exercise to follow. What's really the only value adding bit of it is the outputs and what you do with them. Now, I hope you have a go. If you do, fantastic. Let us know how it went. You can get in touch with us in any of these ways. We love a picture. If you'd like some external help or facilitation, you can also get hold of us on these details here. And if you'd like to make sure you receive other videos like this, or many of the guides and information packs that we send out, then sign up for our newsletters. Thanks.